Then very important concept, if you have natural numbers 1 2 3 4 5 up to so on, its sum will be equal to, which will be summation x, n into n plus 1 over 2, summation x square will be n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 whole divided by 6, arithmetic mean will be n plus 1 over 2, and variance will be equal to n square minus 1 over 12. And they can give you any numbers and you will have to find out mean, summation x square, sum and variance, a very very important one. Then as you know, arithmetic mean will be equal to, g will be equal to a multiplied by h under the root. This is the formula you will have to learn. Geometric mean is equal to a multiplied by h under the root, and g square will be equal to a multiplied by h, g square over a will be equal to h, and a will be equal to g square over h. All these are very important. They can give you the questions. Then median is not affected by the extreme values because we take the central value of the arranged data. And then a very important concept of dispersion. It is the scatterness of the values, dispersion of the values around the central value, and we have dispersion range, we have mean deviation, we have quartile deviation, we have standard deviation, we have variance. They all are independent of origin. As we learned earlier, all central tendency, all measures of central tendency are dependent upon origin and scale, but these all are independent of origin but not scale. If I subtract a constant value in all the values of x, they will not be changed, but if I multiply or divide, they will be changed. So what did you learn? These all measures of dispersion are independent of origin but not scale. And then range is calculated by maximum value minus minimum value, and then quartile deviation, it is q3 minus q1 over 2. And what is mean deviation? That will be summation x minus x bar modulus over n. Now very very important question, summation x minus median, that will be least. If the question is asked, if you take the sum of the deviation of the values in the modulus for mean deviation, it is least for what? For mean, for median, for mode. That will be least for median, a very important one. Which is the most stable dispersion? That is standard deviation. Which is the most stable average? That is arithmetic mean. Then we have the concept of skewness. There are two formula. First one is called Pearson. It is skewness is equal to mean minus mode over standard deviation. That was given by Carl Pearson, and there was another man whose name was Bowley, and he gave the formula which depends upon q1 plus q3 minus 2q2, which is also median, over q3 minus q1. And a very important concept I will give you. The range for Carl-Pearson's coefficient of skewness is minus 3 to plus 3, and for Bowley that will be minus 1 to plus 1. And very important concepts, standard deviation of constant is equal to 0. For example, you have 5 values, 5 5 5 5 5. This is a constant, same number 5 times. It means standard deviation will be 0. There is no dispersion. Then standard deviation of x plus a, as I told you, independent of origin. If I plus a constant value, that will not be changed. But if you have standard deviation of cx, that will be c modulus standard deviation of x. And I will give you one more important concept, standard deviation of minus 7x. That will be minus 7 modulus. As I told you, standard deviation of x. It means the last answer will be plus 7 standard deviation of x. And if they give you standard deviation of 7x, already positive, so that will be 7 standard deviation of x. Then a very important one, variance of constant is 0, variance of x is variance of x plus a will be equal to variance of x. It is also independent of origin. Then a very important one, variance of cx, that will be c square. In standard deviation you will not take the square, please keep in mind, but in variance you will take the square of the constant. If it is multiplying with x, then variance of x. Then very important one, I will give you the concept, inshallah. If you find out variance of x plus y, if x and y are independent, that will be variance of x plus variance of y. And if you want to find variance of x plus y when x and y are not independent, that will be variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 covariance of x comma y. And one very important question I will discuss with you people, and that is standard deviation of x plus y. And I have seen many students, they commit the mistake, they make the error, and that will not be equal to that will not be equal to variance of x plus variance of y. That will not be equal to standard deviation of x plus standard deviation of y, but that will be equal to variance of x plus variance of y under the root. Very important one. They can give you the values, just substitute the values and get the required answer. The next one is beta 1, coefficient of skewness. It is m3 square over m2 cube. Then beta 2, kurtosis, that will be equal to m4 over m2 square. And please, boys and girls, these both are independent of origin and scale. They are not affected by plus, minus, multiply and divide. And then the next one is moments. Moments are independent of origin but not scale. They are affected by multiply divide, but they are not affected by plus and minus. And first moment about origin is always equal to mean. Second moment about mean is always equal to variance. And all order movements are m1 is equal to 0. Then the next one is index numbers. A very important concept. It is a tool which tells us the change in one variable or more variables with respect to time and space. Time and space. It's a pure number. It has no unit, no centimeter, no millimeter. And then there are two main types of index numbers. You can say that simple index and composite. In simple, we discuss only one variable. In composite, we discuss two or more variables. And there are unweighted and weighted in composite. Composite has two types, weighted and unweighted. When the importance of all the variable is same, then we use unweighted. And when the importance of all the variables is different, we use composite weighted index numbers. And in weighted, we have Laspere, Pastius, Fisher and Marshall. And Laspere has upward bias, very important concept. Pastius has downward bias, and value index number has no bias. And then time reversal test. that is P naught n multiplied by P n naught equal to 1, and factor reversal test, that is P naught n multiplied by Q naught n is equal to V naught n. Time reversal is satisfied by Fisher and Marshall, and factor is reversal test is satisfied by Fisher only. And then there is circular test, extension of time reversal test, a very important MCQ. And another MCQ, when we have at least 3 years, then we use circular test, and that is PAB multiplied by PBC multiplied by PCA equal to 1. It is the extension of, this is circular test, this is the extension of time reversal test, and that is used when we have at least 3 years, ABC, 3 years, and it is not satisfied by Fisher and Marshall, a very, very important one. Then what is CPI? Consumer Price Index number. Then I will give you the concepts of probability,